All right. So, welcome to the group energy clearing on May 20th, I believe it is. Yes. No, 2024. So, it's been an interesting few weeks. The reason why some of us were laughing at the beginning when I asked how are things going and there was like this radio silence is because a lot of us have been really riding through these waves that are happening within the collective. And Ray said it beautifully last week in Planetary Encodements that we're really in a space of working through our loose ends, right? Like our loose ends are coming up and the things we haven't faced and worked on or kind of stuffed down are bubbling up. And for some of us, that's happening gracefully. For many of us, we need a little bit more stuff in our face to get there. So, so all of us, I think on this today have a story to tell from the last like couple of weeks of how our loose ends are showing up for us. One of the things that I've been tuning into last night and today, and and connected to what Ray is saying with this, with Taurus and Uranus, right? Within True Sky and Vedic astrology,
Yes, 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 both.
both, great. Is we're really testing and working to our value system, right? We're upgrading, we're updating what our value system is. We're in rediscovery of what it is. Maybe we never really thought about values and now we're really coming to it, or maybe they are being readdressed and they're coming through in a new way. So that is a kind of a key piece. And I was really working on those value pieces last night. And when I was really going through what do I value, and I was going through kind of a series of questions that were helping me to get to even what they look like for me, epiphanies started happening. And it was like I was able to soften into, oh my gosh, this is really me. Wow, this is really what motivates me. This is what really keeps me going. This is what really where I want to go in life. And that really exploring my values has helped me to get to a deeper understanding of my next steps, my path, my purpose, and where I want to go. So I bring that forward because I'm feeling into a lot of people are in this like limbo state. Like I really want to make movement, I really want to do things, I really want to get there, I really want this change, but I don't even know how to get there and I'm stuck and I feel I don't even know where to go. So I'm seeing that with a lot of people in my life as well as clients and in within our own community here. So I'm bringing that forward because that values piece has been very helpful in bringing forth some new awarenesses to help with taking some steps. So we'll get going. One of the places I wanted us to go today is really around where our where our energies are going and how to reclaim our energies, calling our energies back into us. Because we are people who live more heart-centered. Oh, Tammy has something to say. So value systems seem to be something that many do not understand, let alone talk about. It has been a challenge for me to figure out what my value, okay. So Tammy brings up a really key piece. Laura said, I can't get on the, hello everyone. I can't get on video, but I am here. No problem. Hi, Haro. Hi, Laura. So this idea Tammy's bringing up is not only our values, but what value do we contribute to the world? That purpose, that path piece. So Tammy, that is a big piece to it as well. So thank you for bringing that forward. So as you think about values, thinking about not only our values, but what value we contribute. One of the things that I want to do, and I was going to reach out today and I haven't done that yet, is ask my sisters here, what value do I contribute? So I was going to go, later ask on Signal, what value do I contribute, to you and so forth, to my friends, my family, and so forth. Because I think that is also going to help me better understand my values as well as what I bring to the world. So I bring that forward, and thank you, Tammy, for bringing that piece because that's a lot of what's happening with folks right now. And if you want some questions around how to really start thinking about your value and your value system, let me know. Feel free to email We Care at Lightbody. Is it wecare@lightbody.com? And Sherry can connect you to me and I can get you those questions to help you really start thinking that. But this idea of our energy output is really going to help us to come back into us. So we're sourcing from a more sovereign place. So then we can be authentic and truthful in how we explore our values and where we want to go. So to me, I'm feeling the key piece right now is for us to call our energies back and see where our energies are still lingering. So then we can reclaim, be deeper within ourselves, and come from a more sovereign place in our work. So that's where we're headed today. So this is going to be fun. So what I want to encourage you to do is get in a comfortable space. This is a great time to turn the screen off. After we're done, we'll go into sharing and we'll connect in that way. But I want us to get us right into this space and make sure we have enough time and that we're really able to tune in. Yeah, good. Getting yourself settled. If you want your screen off, go for it. If you can't allow to figure out how to do it, that's okay. I know you're trying. I can
Now
see.
that I figured it out, I have to turn it off. Oh.
We'll see how, you know what, I'll give you, next time I see you, I'll give you one of those little things you can slide over your camera. So if you
Oh.
can't figure it out on your computer, at least you could slide it over. So
Okay.
it's a little plastic thing. I'll try to remember to bring it to you.
Uh,
Ooh. Yeah, good. So just starting to get yourself comfortable, relaxed, getting into your more quiet space. Yes, good. This is beautiful timing for a lot of us who were just gathered together in a camp out where our energies were swirling and we were there to help each other and we were in support mode and doing all the things and our energies were probably getting pulled out and haven't been completely pulled back into us. So if you are interacting with lots of folks all the time or you're highly sensitive, sometimes our energies can be focused or move into different spaces and we don't even know that that part of our energy is missing, that coming and calling it back in within us, that it lingers out there, especially if you have children, you're in relationships, or you're connected to certain coworkers or family or friends. The energy exchange is just a normal part of our world. But we forget a lot of times that it always has to be reclaimed back into us. Good. Okay. So bringing your awareness behind your eyes. And for those of you who are not familiar with this practice, what we do is we imagine coming behind our eyes. I say bringing your awareness behind your eyes. And you notice a difference when you're looking out your eyes when you are kind of in your regular mode versus when you pull your energy into you and you bring your awareness behind your eyes. What I do, I need a visual in order to get my awareness behind my eyes. So what I do is I imagine myself sitting in a little rocking chair behind my eyes. And then if I'm looking out my eyes, I'm using the windows of my eyes to look out. But I'm in a little rocking chair, little mini me, sitting in my head behind my eyes. And notice what happens when you bring your awareness behind your eyes. Just being aware of what this feels like. Even for those that are well practiced in this experience of going behind your eyes, at times we forget to really sit with what this feels like to be behind our eyes. And you may notice as soon as you did that, you may notice a calmness, a stillness, or there may be other sensations or feelings that arise for you, discomfort or anxiety, or you're feeling certain body sensations. Just bringing awareness to what it feels like to be behind the eyes. And for those of you who are well practiced in this, you may have moved yourself right down to your heart. Setting the intention to bring that awareness that's behind your eyes right now down to your heart. And the same imagery, if you need some, sitting in a little chair, maybe a lounge chair, a rocking chair, whatever it looks like for you. And that little chair in your heart. And you can still look out the windows of your heart. But noticing what it feels like to be in your heart. Noticing if you're struggling to get into the heart or just hanging out there. While you're in your heart, are you able to feel the heartbeat? This is our home base today as we go through the experience we're about to go through. So getting very comfortable what it feels like to be in the heart space is where we want to be. Yeah. And while you are here, this is a great time to call your spirit team forward, your entourage, the crew you work with, to connect with. Yeah, good. Calling your spirit team forward. And as you call your guides, your entourage, your spirit team, your creator, whatever you connect with, when you call them forward, notice what presents. You may have physical sensations, thoughts, feelings that come up, visuals. Yes, good. It's already a lot coming forward just by you being in the heart and connecting with your team. Ooh. And your ancestors want to be here as well. So we'll call them forward. I call upon my mother and my mother's people all the way back before time was time. I call upon my mother and my mother's people all the way back before time was time. I call upon my mother and my mother's people all the way back before time was time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that may bring up other sensations, thoughts or feelings or visuals as your mother's people come forward. I call upon my father and my father's people all the way back before time was time. I call upon my father and my father's people all the way back before time was time. I call upon my father and my father's people all the way back before time was time. Welcome. And your father's people may bring even more sensations, thoughts, feelings, visuals your way. Their intention is to be here to support. They are here out of love, beyond any wounding, any history, any stories. Their intention right now, here, is to hold love and space for you to wake up to deeper levels of who you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And one more that wants to join the party. Actually, there's a few more that want to join the party. Pachamama wants to come forward, and she wants to hold us in her love, in her embrace, as we go deeper and deeper and deeper in. So for some of you, Pachamama can easily come right in when you set the intention. For others, you may need to go down into your perineum, into your root, and open the door to allow her to come in. Yeah, I can see some of you may need to pulse your perineum, kind of like Kegels, to open that energy, to open the door, to allow her energy to come in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you may notice a rhythm that starts to come forward, a rhythm that comes from Pachamama that works its way up and through you. She's bringing forward not only her love, but the love of the elementals, the love of the telluric realm. And all of these folks that are here, all of this love from all of these beings, your spirit team, Pachamama, your mother's people, your father's people, they are all here to help you to go into deeper levels of your self-discovery. They have the intention, their intention for right now is to be in love and hold space. And I bring this forward again and again because where we're headed is in our sovereignty. And there's some disorientation that's happening right now. There's some confusion. There's this frequency that's coming forward that the ego is trying to make sense of what's happening at the moment. But the heart is in charge right now. So if you're noticing your awareness shifting, it went down to your perineum to open Pachamama to come forward. Now it's bringing your awareness back up to your heart, unless you're called to be in a different space. But the heartbeat is growing stronger and stronger and stronger in each of you. Your rhythm. This is your soul rhythm. This is your footprint. This is the rhythm, the vibration that you emanate out into the universe. And this is expanding your heart. Your heart is expanding, expanding, expanding right now. And that rhythm, that frequency that your heart is expanding out, 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 is helping us to tap into where your energies are outside of you. So it's starting to expand, expand, expand. And all of these beings needed to be here to help you expand in this way. They were all called to be here for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Good. And as your heart is expanding, if you are called to set an intention, do so now. This intention can be very specific around clearing energy out of a certain person. It could be connected to what is my blind spot that's stopping me from claiming my sovereignty. It could be around this particular habit or behavior that I'm wanting to clear out inside of me. Show me how to do that. And this gives your ego a little bit of candy to play with as you set your intention. It's your ego driver is saying, thank you for giving me a little attention. Thank you for giving me something sweet to play with right now. And now you can settle back into your heart. Yes. Your ego just wants to be acknowledged. Yeah. Ooh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good. Now, as your heart expands, 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 there are energies that are starting to present. Okay, we're going to do this in rounds and stages because there's things that are presenting that are very collective. And then there's also individual pieces that are presenting as well. So as you are in your heartbeat, your heart, feeling the expansion of your heart opening, the first space where our energies are, I'm going to call it trapped. This feels like a very trapped energy. Ooh, is within the earth. So some of you may feel it as a past life being buried and never coming out of that, never having your energies pulled out of that experience. Ooh, that's a very heavy energy. So as I say that, being buried alive or being buried in the earth and never pulling your energy out, staying stuck in that experience may have created a feeling of feeling trapped, disconnected, uncomfortable, anxious, angry, disoriented. Ooh, that withdrawn feeling is coming in very strong. So if you've had certain behaviors or patterns in your life, this life, that express these certain behaviors I listed, that may be connected to this trapped, us being trapped in it. It feels like it's the Tolorc realm, but this is a trapped energy. This is not, I was a troll in another lifetime. No, this is trapped energy from trauma, from a wound. Okay, for some of you, this is connected to family secrets being buried. Family secrets. So some of you, your lineages, your ancestors buried secrets or pushed secrets into Pachamama, into the earth to be held there. For others, it's past lives of you being buried alive. Ooh, the family secret thing is getting very activated right now. So you may or may not identify with this, but you may feel a physical sensation in the body. You may have a thought, feeling, visual, another type of awareness. This is very earth-based right now. Oh, okay, good. We got to the thread. We got to the thread. Good, good, good. So your focus right now is to hold space, be in your heart. If you notice any sensations that arise, being aware of those. Me, my entourage, yours, your spirit team, we are all in this, cleaning this out. Pachamama's helping to clear out this trauma, clear out these wounds. I'm calling your ancestors forward, the ones that buried secrets, to have them reclaim those secrets. And your ancestors are on it, quick. They are all over it right now. They no longer want these secrets. They're going to liberate themselves and your whole lineage or lineages of these burden of these secrets. So they're pulling them out. They're pulling them out. They're pulling them out right now. For those of you trapped in maybe a grave or a burial. Oh, this is even people who have had lifetimes where you were buried after you passed, but your ancestors, your people kept your energy locked in. This reminds me of like wrapping up, like how they wrap up the mummies. They're locking in the spirit of the being too. And they did it as the intention of holding memories of their loved ones, but the soul's not liberated. So there's an aspect of you that's still in these graves too. Okay, so I'm having to negotiate with your ancestors as well for the ones that kind of held you in place, as well as the choices you made in lifetimes to stay to stay trapped. Good. The word has been spoken. It's time for liberation. Yes. I'm bringing in these beautiful big white flames. These are the flames of all that is, the light of all that is. And you are throwing in, your ancestors are throwing in any agreements, vows, oaths, contracts, commitments to keep these energies locked down. Wow, good. You each have a huge yes in your heart, reclaiming your energies. And what's happening is that what needs to be cleared is getting cleared, and then your energies, this aspect of yourself is coming back into you. And it's all through the yes you have in your heart to reclaim your energies. I'm looking for any resistance from you, your ancestors, your people, anything, and I can't see any resistance right now. Good. That's shifting things a lot with this reclaiming right now. Wow. Even the people who dug your grave, they were singing songs to you. And in the ways they were mourning, they wanted to keep you locked down so they could always see you. They could always pray to you and connect with you, rather than doing it from a liberated soul perspective. It was done in a way that locked you down, not intentionally in any way, but they didn't know what it was doing to you. There we go. Good. There's a big yes to clear that out. Big yes, big yes, big yes. Whew. And some of you liked staying down in the earth because in a way you felt you were connecting to Pachamama. And yes, being in the soil, being in the dirt, being in the ground, yes, is a way to feel the love of Pachamama, but she wants you to feel that as someone walking on this planet. That's the liberated way right now for you. Yes, that just cleared out a huge piece in everyone through the throat. Yes. And the intention she had for that, to clear that from your throat, is connected to how you're going to be able to communicate your purpose, your intention for being here, why you chose to incarnate on this planet for this lifetime, and the intention for you being here now. And it looks differently for everyone. Good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Good, good, good. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Pachamama. Thank you, thank you, thank you, ancestors, for helping us clean that up. Thank you to our team for helping to clean that up. Okay, there's another wave that's starting to come forward. The energies are moving quickly, so you do your pace. I'm just going to keep on moving with the energies. So we're back in our heart space, just tuning in as the next wave comes forward of where we are reclaiming, where our energies are still outside of us. Oh, okay. So this is connected to either a current or past lover or partner. Ooh. And you may notice as I say that, physical sensations arising within you, thoughts, feelings, visuals. Just let yourself have what presents. And notice who that person is, either a current or a past lover or partner. And if you are called to go to a different lifetime, that's great. Whatever, whomever is called to come forward, allow them to come forward. And if you need a visual to have this be more connected to you, to make it feel more connected to your experience, you can imagine you staring right in the eyes of that person or being. Imagining them looking face to face at you. And notice what happens to your body, your thoughts, your feelings as this is happening. And you may notice a feeling of pulling in kind of feeling. You may feel a pushing out kind of feeling. You may notice another type of sensation. Just be aware of what comes up for you as you are face to face with a current or former lover or partner. If you are noticing a pushing out feeling, notice if that's you pushing your energy out onto that person or being. And if that's the case, what is happening in you? And observe what's happening within the other. And actually, for some of you, there's more than one person coming forward, and that's okay. If they come forward, allow them. Because this may be a repeated pattern that you have with others. So allow whomever to come forward, come forward. If you notice a pulling in energy, notice and observe what's happening with the other or others and yourself with the pulling in energy. You really want to see and know where this shows up for you. Does this become physical? Like, does your chest lock up? Does your throat hurt? Do you get a headache? You want to notice what presents? Do you get angry? Do you get frustrated? Do you get sad? Do you get clingy or pulley? What comes up for you? Just notice how the energy interaction is happening with this other or others. What you're doing is you're getting yourself familiar with what happens in this energy exchange with another. So we can get very familiar with it and work on calling your energies back. But we have to understand it. And we're understanding the energy exchange of what happens to us, what happens to them in this exchange. Good, good. This is there's an awareness that's waking up within you right now. And for many of you, what's starting to click is I no longer want to have the exchange in this way anymore. This is not authentic to who I am. I want it to be from a sovereign, authentic space, a truthful space. I want to be fully me in this interaction, in this exchange. I'm watching the ego mind really set up stories, set up the defense mechanisms. Whew. So I'm asking our entourage to come in and start to clean up the defense mechanisms. Good. And the ancestors are coming forward and they're taking the wounding that was connected to what they passed down to you, and they're starting to pull that out. So the wounding around, here's how the way that your family, your ancestors taught you to be in relationship or how to be connected with others. They're taking out the wounding part of that, the out of aligned place, the ungrounded energies, the energies that are not in your truth. So for some of you, this may be your ancestors taught you to be in control, to be passive, to always be on guard, to be cynical, whatever the energies are. Your ancestors are like, we no longer want to live this way either. And we don't want you and the future generations to live this way. So they're helping to clean it out. It's time for liberation. Yep, you're no longer actors in a play. This drama is done. Yep, pull it out. Pull out that control. Pull out that hate. Pull out that disconnection. Pull it out. It's time to go. It's time to go. Whew. Ah, this attraction energy. Oh, that is getting stirred up, especially for people in their shoulders, their shoulder blades area, who we attract. Okay, so there's a block in some folks' hearts. There we go. Now I'm asking for that to be revealed of why we don't source from love, why we withhold our love, why we attract the people who help us to hold down that withholding of love. Or why do we hold that within ourselves? Woohoo. Okay, there's a lot of fear coming up. There's a fear from your father's lineage coming forward, and I'm asking them to clear the fear out, that we no longer need to be in fear. And those stories that you want to hold on to, all the evidence you have of why you attract the wrong ones, or why you won't give your love to another, or why you're withholding your love from your partners you may have been with for a long time. All those stories, all that evidence can be thrown into the flames right now. And the flames now have changed colors, and they're these beautiful aquamarine flames. And it's safe to burn the evidence, to dissolve the evidence in these aquamarine divine mother flames. And if you are called to use dragon fire energy with that, go for it. Because there is a very heavy motherly dragon. I see her as an aquamarine dragon energy coming forward. And she's holding this very strong space of love and transformation. And she's keeping an eye on the ancestors, making sure they're doing their part. That's really funny. Good. Now, what this is doing, this is making room for us to reclaim our energy out of that other person. So I'm just allowing a little bit more to clear out. Once this dragon came in, she's doing a lot of the work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, as you look at this partner, lover, now you're tuning in to this other, and you're setting the intention to call your energy back to you. If you need a visual, what I like to do is imagine my energy as little bright fragments of light. And I search for those fragments of light and I call them back into me through my heart. You may need a visual or a feeling. If you need a feeling, you may feel your energy, feel your way through that other, and feel through and call your energies back into you. Whatever you're doing is working right now. I'm watching. Sometimes all you need to do is set the intention and it just starts to happen. Calling my energy back, calling. Some people connect with a resonance, a frequency that they know is theirs. Some people echo their name, call their name, and their pieces start to come back into them. And you may need to connect this to a feeling. Like an example would be, say, an experience you had with this other, that you were afraid of this other doing something reckless. Then you wrap your energy around that person to hope that they don't do something reckless. You may have to go into the reckless feeling and then unwind it to pull it back into you. Fear, any fear you had with that other, that feeling, you can feel and sense the fear and pull your energy out of that and dissolve the fear. Good. I'm no longer responsible for you. I'm only responsible for myself. I can hold space, give you love, show up for you, give you support. But it's you who has to claim responsibility for yourself. Claim responsibility for your sovereign nature. I get to do me, you get to do you. I'm pulling my energy back into me. And I ask that you pull your energy back into you. And if there's any resistance or holding on, ask your team to come forward to help pull their energy out of you or vice versa. I'm tuning in too to see if there's any other resistance. Yes, you are a sovereign being on your path. I see that now. Yes, thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And as the energies come back into you and you're reclaiming your energies, we're asking that them to be integrated gracefully back into you. I ask the ancestors to pull out any behaviors that will stop the integration or cause intensity with the integration. Yes, reclaim your pieces, ancestors. It's time to reclaim your pieces. We all want liberation. Good. And I'm wrapping you all up in this love gauze. This is the light of all that is. Imagine it like a blanket of the light of all that is wrapping around you to allow this process to be graceful. This reintegration to be graceful. This rediscovery, reconnection. And I ask the members of my entourage to come forward that can help with a graceful integration. Because I'm not in this alone. You're not in this alone. Hmm. Yes. Now we can be in relationship in harmony, or we can think of these past ones in harmony and with love and compassion rather than all the stuff. Yeah, that was lingering. There we go. Good. So I'm asking the ancestors and Pachamama and your spirit team to do one more sweep to see if there's any lingering energies that need to be cleaned up. Okay, Pachamama's reminding us this is a good day to get outside to help with the integration. Maybe barefoot on the grass, hugging a tree, going for a walk. You have time and opportunities to get outside. It's going to help with the integration. Thank you, thank you. Okay, Pachamama's starting to leave. That door is closing. The ancestors are starting to leave. Oh, yep, they're dissolving a few more things on their way out. Your entourage is going to hang around for a while with you to support the integration. This aquamarine dragon is staying. She is also holding space for the integration. So these flames are available to you as awarenesses come forward for you. And it could be just through today or for many weeks. Just allowing to see what presents. And if you need to dissolve anything, you can always call these aquamarine flames forward. Just noticing what it feels like to be in your body, in your heart. Good. There's a lot of cords that just got cut, bonds that got released. Whew. Especially in the crown. You may be feeling your heartbeat again. You may be leaving your heart space and coming up to behind your eyes. Or you may stay in your heart. It's okay. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Good. I'm going to have you echo your name. So you're going to call your name 360 degrees out into the universe. 360 degrees. Ah, yes, 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 yes. And what that's doing is that's calling your energy back into you. That's a frequency. This frequency you're putting out by echoing your name, calling out your name 360 degrees out into the universe, then taps into the frequency of your energy that's scattered out there, and it brings it back in to you. For some of you, you don't even use a name anymore. It's just a quick intention and it cleans up and comes right back into you, your energies. 360 degrees around the earth plane. So however this shows up for you to call your energies back into you, that's how it shows up. Wow. 360 degrees into the earth. Yep, for some of you, it's the underworlds too. There we go. Good, that was quick for you guys to do that one. Yep. Claiming your body. This is my body. I choose who comes into my body. I choose what happens to my body. This is my space around my body. I choose who comes in. No one's allowed in without me approving it. Claiming your space. This is my space. Reclaiming your power. This is mine. And you're not doing this from a space of greed or holding. You're doing this from a space of liberation and sovereignty, of reclaiming your power, reclaiming you. I am, I am, I am. Wow, that just like, whew. Oh, I don't even know how to describe that one. When you are ready to bring yourself back into this space, back into this Zoom screen, If you are called to come off screen or on screen and share what you experienced, you're welcome to do so. If you are wanting to leave or need to leave, this is a good time to leave. If you are altered and just need that space to hang out and listen, but be off screen, that's okay too. Oh, does anyone want to share anything? There was a lot happening at once. Yeah, Felicia or Felicia? I want to make sure I say your name right.
Felicia.
Felicia. Okay.
Mhm. Oh my gosh. Well, it's so jam-packed. Oh my God.
I know there was a lot there.
You were a busy girl.
Just one of those little things that had been profound, but they wanted this all to happen.
I had huge monumental happenings for me. And my parents' side, that was kind of different for me. It was really interesting. I got a number of awakenings or awarenesses about qualities of both my parents that I didn't even know about before, right? So they're kind of new for me, and I'm wondering as I'm saying that, what changes that'll make. I've been doing a lot about letting go. I even bought a pain essence that's called Letting Go.
Ooh.
And okay, just highlights. Wolf cries.
Mhm.
They came to me, and they went through my body. It was a kind of a sound that I'd never experienced before
Mm.
in release. Um and the reason, since I've been a kid, that I always felt so full of passion when I heard wolves crying, right? Howling. That there's a kind of a cry in a human being that's very similar to that.
Wow.
That we don't do because it's not allowed, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's allowed to cry that big. Um, I went into the sacred space of my heart for a lot of my stuff, and so I've been renewing my work with fairies, and so there was a lot of what would you call that, orb energy
Ah, yeah.
throughout, and there was something that the Osho Tibetans taught me about not cutting cords, that we should never cut cords, and that it should always loop. And
Mm.
so you were talking about letting go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a child of the 60s, man. I had lots of extra people in my life.
Yes. Yes.
So so what I wanted to say is it just kept on coming. My girlfriend and I wrote a list down. She had 5 and I have 125. That's the difference.
Oh, wow.
In 10 years, right? Next. Okay, so realizing, how is it possible to hold energy of those one night stands, or that kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Possible to hold all that? Well, I discovered that it was, and that they were holding it for me. So I did the Osho Tibetan thing. I give back to you everything
Mm.
good, bad,
Beautiful.
and indifferent,
Yeah.
and I ask from for me everything I ever gave you, good, bad, and indifferent. And that exchange happened. So I feel kind of warm and fuzzy. I feel not undone, and I don't feel
Yeah.
what do you call, what's that word?
Like-
I don't
Yeah.
feel emptied. I feel renewed. That's the difference.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. That's what I'm feeling. Thanks very much. That was great.
Yeah. And and that the traditions of cord cutting and not that I didn't cut anything. It was just things snapped and went away. So that piece, just know it is however it showed up, how it showed up. So it could just be how it was in your tradition that you studied. But that's
Mhm.
amazing about the past lover piece.
Oh
You
my
know,
God.
that is that. And I
Yeah,
thought I
and
did layers of this and there's more to go.
No,
No,
I thought I thought it was only just lovers, but it was also persons who had loving relationships with, whose love was not complete with me. And so I saw that part in me that never gave fully.
That's that withholding of love.
Mhm.
And what was help wow, you bring up such a key piece that the love was not complete. Like that holding on was from that love that was not complete.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that. That was incredible.
welcome.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Felicia.
I thought it was too. Thanks very much.
Wow. Thank you for that share. I have to put Laura, I had to put you on the spot. I'm about to cry
Oh,
What?
to watch that connection that you and Jairo just had.
Oh my God, I didn't know the video was on. I told him and I said,
And
oh, gee, I left before the video was not working and now the video is working.
I love how he grabbed your butt. But anyways,
Oh.
but that always through that share with Felicia bringing up and pulling out like really important realizations. And then you had this beautiful, loving, intimate moment with Jairo that we got to witness at the same time was so magical. I mean, it was so magical.
Especially after these last few days, it's been, it was a big process that we went through in the last few days. So this was pretty amazing. But you are a powerhouse, Stacy. You're a force. It was amazing. This activation was just amazing. And I felt like when you talked about pushing out or pulling in, I really felt that. I never even thought about that, but I was thinking, the first thing that came was like this reptilian energy. It was like a bird. It was like that reptile became like a big bird, and I could see those big eyes and the wings, and I felt like, from ancient times, like a Gryffindor or something like that.
Oh.
And there was like and I felt like a pushing out. I
Mhm.
definitely felt like my energy was pushing it out. And then slowly is just became more like I'm more integrated in myself and more accepting and more bringing it back in a different way, though not in a forceful way. That's why I was pushing out, because it felt forceful, but then the old energy changed and shifted. So there was a lot of shifting of energy, and even though in my ancestors, I feel like we work so much with my ancestors that I felt like when they came in, it's pretty clear. They're actually, it's pretty amazing the difference now and a long time ago. But yeah, I felt like, wow, you were so right on with everything. I can't, it's just like, whoa, incredible.
Thank you. It just happened very fast, and that we could have just been done with the reclaiming of the grave stuff or us in the earth stuff. But
Yeah.
then this next layer that came forward so fast, I was just like, all right, this may be really intense, but we're going there, and then just that exchange, the exchanges we have with others,
Mhm.
and for a lot of you, it wasn't, and Martine brought this up, her children came in, right? It wasn't just one person that wound up coming in, like Felicia said, like multiple people. I watched my kids coming forward. And
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
just about me and my husband. It was like my kids came forward. And I watched for all of you, there were more people that came forward. And then the ancestors really had to be there. So a lot of you, it was the ancestor exchange too. So it was It was a lot very fast. So that's why I'm saying this integration, I'm trying to surround all of us with love gods so we can like do this gracefully because there was so much, you know.
Yeah, so at one point I really felt like in my throat and in my upper chest and throat, all of a sudden was like, whoa, there is an energy there that is really strong, But yeah, I feel like the love gas was great, and the integration is going to be bringing forward more shifts and more revelation, more to be revealed, for sure. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Yeah, Tammy, then Crystal.
I echo Stacy's words, Lara. That was beautiful. It was just beautiful. I thank you for that gift. That was a true gift. And it just showed me the divine masculine coming forth, and how, when Stacy says that calling in our Father and our Father's people, and that they were here supporting us. That your Haro showed that with you to me. That's part of it. And it was just absolutely breathtaking. I just like, oh, melting. I also I kept falling asleep because I've been up since probably about 3:30 this morning.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's okay, because at first I was like, no, don't fall asleep, be aware. And it's like, no, because when part of it, when we were calling in past lovers or whatever interactions, it went beyond. It was even like just thoughts. If I just had thoughts of, and I can actually still feel some of them. Like it, like, how we go, like going back before time was time. That's how many. It wasn't just this lifetime. And I don't even remember the rest of it. It's just like, okay, whoever's showing up is showing up, because it's time for all of that. And for all of me to come home, and all of that to be released and healed. Whatever that is. I'm not getting caught up in my head about it. But yeah, I fell asleep in my chair to where my arms were tingling.
Oh,
So
wow.
and I know to listen to this again for where I fell asleep, to just, because some of you are saying that, I'm like, oh, I don't remember that part. So, but thank you. It was really wonderful. Thank you.
That happened to me in the activation yesterday. I kept on falling asleep. So to me, I just know my ego had to get out of the way, wanted to be in control. So the only way it was going to happen for me to go further down and get deeper was to go to sleep. So yeah.
One more thing, Stacy. Thank you. 360 degrees under us. Because as soon as I did that, it went above me too.
Mm.
It just like, so thank you for that part.
Awesome. And some of you, there was some underworld stuff going on that had to get reclaimed. So yeah. So that's also why I brought that in. And before we go to Crystal, just so Martine just made a comment, just so you know, I felt being buried in the earth was being trapped by my earthly beliefs, thoughts, and bull crap. I love that. All earthly 3D restrictions. Thank you for that share, Martine. That was beautiful. Crystal.
Morning, afternoon. This was this was very profound for me, because this is the work that actually, this was the culmination of the work that's been happening in my week, and all this reclaiming stuff. I have a friend who's really holding that divine masculine for me, and the way that he is healing me just by being present in things that I didn't even know I carried was from past lovers, from just past things that he had brought up something, and I was so touched by what he said, and I realized I had an opposite experience like 20 years ago, And I still was carrying that experience in my body now. And it wasn't until he said what he said that it triggered that. I was like, oh my God, I'm freaking holding on to shit that doesn't mean, wasn't even mine. Like I look at that, I'm like, why would I hold on to that? But you know, who I was at that time didn't know any better. And that was still activated in my field. So this whole thing has just been profound. I watch my ancestors gleefully dig everything up out of the ground. They're like, we are so tired of this shit. They're just all done. They're all done
Wow.
with it. And the one lover, I didn't even realize, this man, I would say, was equal to me spiritually, but from a dark place, not light.
Mm.
And I didn't realize when I was going in to see where my energy was, I didn't realize how much protection I had set up that's been in force for over 10 years because I didn't know how this man was going to come back at me.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, I don't need to hold on to this. Like, I got a freaking dragon. She can take care of this shit. I don't even need to do anything. So I've had all this energy in this and these etheric realms because he has access to those. And that would be the only way that he could do anything. But in the releasing of that, I also realized I was holding him to that one moment. I was holding him there. So there was a piece of him that was in bondage to me because I felt this need for protection. And once I released it, that part of him was able to be released too. So I got to watch that dissolve. So I thought that was really
Wow.
beautiful. So for me, this is the culmination. Like I felt this week, like collectively, that the path has righted itself, like RIGHTED, the path has righted itself. And so this reclamation is part of where we are going as beings.
Wow.
And so every little piece, the pieces that we can't see in ourselves where we need other people to shine that light so we can see those teeny tiny corners that don't have the light in them yet. That's what I feel like is happening. At least it is for me. And so this was so unbelievably perfect. It was like you scripted this whole thing for me. So thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you to our entourage and everyone that was with us to script it for us. And wow, that is so awesome. And you know, it makes me think there's a couple of things that when you were saying that, it makes me think that especially the energies we pulled out of others, we may want to, because they may have their own stuff come up because they lived a life with our energies in them. Right. And I'll give an example. When I pulled out a massive form of control that I had locked into my husband years ago. We pulled out that control. And I say we, because it was a group of us. My husband was rushed to the hospital the next day. It was like a reaction to this whole, like it was literally keeping him standing upright. And then his eyes rolled literally the next day, his eyes rolled up. I only saw whites. He started convulsing. He fell. And I had to get him to the hospital. It was like a massive release for him. And then he was able to reorientate and readjust. But that's how it can be. So if you want to set an intention to surround those ones with love gauze, especially ones that are in your life right now, you know, or like Crystal, that one that you may be a little bit more like, ooh, you know, you can always set that intention. It's not like you're setting control to do something to them, but you can set an intention to send them love or light or, you know, so they can heal with this piece too, because that is something that I've witnessed others go through and myself go through as well. So
It's a
Yeah.
really good point. Thank you.
yeah, good. If you are wanting to go deeper, it's beautiful timing that this is working out this month the way it is. Normally we're the fourth Sunday, but because with Memorial Day, you know, there's a lot of people traveling and stuff. We did it this week. But if you are wanting to go deeper tomorrow, we're doing an energy tracking lab at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. And we're going to be tracking different energies. I'm the facilitator of it, and we'll be tracking different energies. And it's going to really kind of follow suit from what we did today. I have an intention. However, if I say the intention, we'll see where the energies take us because it is going deeper within ourselves and claiming our sovereignty more. I know that's what's going to come up, and there's some tools that we're going to use to do that. So that's tomorrow at 1, and you can go into the Lightbody website to do that. If you want to look at this recording again, we do now charge a little fee, and so you can reach out to us, and you can you can get that. I don't know, actually, does it go in the reminder email about the recording? Yeah, Bev says yes. And so you'll get you'll get an email after this, a follow-up email, and there's just, I think it's like a $5 fee. It's like a really small fee, just because there's a lot of administrative stuff that goes on behind to get that recording out. So it's just to help support that. So anyone else with any other shares that are coming up for you? Email goes out tomorrow. Thank you, Biv. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see how this all integrates in our lives. Laura and Crystal, we got to figure something out. That's the Colorado crew. We're trying to figure out if we
Yeah.
can get together in the next week or two.
When is
And-
the Memorial Day? Is that next
Is it
weekend?
the 27th?
Okay.
Yeah, well, we can stay on. How about the two of us stay on?
Okay.
Or three of us stay
Yeah,
on.
let's say mhm.
Okay. Love you all. Keep me posted. You can always email us the email if you know, I'm really curious about how things go. And if you want a private session, I do private sessions as well. And we can do all that work.
Stop the
Thank
recording.
you.
Thank you.
Stacy,
Yeah,
if stop the recording.
thank you. I didn't hear you the first time, Sherry.